Let's talk about high quality one-person lightweight backpacking tents. Then let's talk about one that weighs less than 3 pounds and costs less than, say, 300 bucks or maybe 200 bucks. Let's talk about one that can accommodate a hiker that's over 6 feet tall. And then let's talk about what, in my opinion, is still the king of this class, the REI Quarterdome 1. So let me get these set up and let's get to it. Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to talk about what I think is the king of this class in solo backpacking tents when you figure in price, pack size, livability, durability, weight, and quality. It's really hard not to put the Quarterdome 1 right at the top. When I was looking for a lightweight solo backpacking tent to replace my heavy Big Agnes Tumble 2, I had a few benchmarks that I was looking for. Number one was price. I figured I'd be able to do this for less than 300 bucks. The other thing was weight. I was looking for something that was going to be less than 3 pounds. Pack size. I wanted a solo tent that I could also take on my backpacking trips, and pack size is important, trying to get it on the bike. Livability. I wanted more than 85 inches in length, so I'd be comfortable and have enough space to accommodate my dog Tater, because he goes along on most of my hikes with me. I also wanted a side entry 3-season double wall construction tent, because when it's nice outside I like to keep the Rainfly off, that way I can look up at the stars. Now fortunately, the old 3rd generation Quarterdome 1 that you see here on the right fit all of these categories and then some, but you can't buy that tent anymore. But I just thought we'd like to take a look at the latest version of this tent and compare it to my older version, just so you can see how it's evolved over the years. Now this is the 4th generation of this iconic tent, and it was first manufactured in 2005, and with every revision it just seems to get better and better. As you can see here, I have my 2015 Generation 3 model on the right, and the new Generation 4 version, which came out a couple years ago, on the left. And these tents are just perfect for solo bikepackers, backpacking, and also people that might want to do things like long distance bike touring. Now this ain't going to be a comparison so much between the new and the old version to decide which one to buy, because you can't buy the old version anymore. But the new version is a complete top to bottom redesign, and I wanted you to see the new changes side by side and get a good idea of why they did what they did. First off, let's get some of these specs out of the way, starting with the price. Now the MSRP on the new version here is $279, although I bought this one on sale for my friend Marvin a couple weeks ago for 195 bucks. The old Gen 3 version there, MSRP was $219, but I bought it at one of the members only 20% off sales, and so I've got 175 bucks in that one. Pack size, 18.5 inches long by 6 inches in diameter for the new one, and 20 inches by 6 inches for the old one. But to tell you the truth, when I had them both side by side, they looked identical. Both the new style and the old style are 3-season double wall tents, and both weigh in at less than 3 pounds. The weights are 2 pounds 14 ounces for the new model and 2 pounds 11 ounces on the old version, although my scale has them both just a little bit lighter than that. Both are side entry tents, and they use a 15D ripstop nylon for the Rainfly and 20D ripstop for the floor and the canopy. The new model has 18.9 square feet of floor space with 9.8 square feet of total space in the vestibule, and it also has 2 vestibules, one at the door and one at the rear. The new version is 88 inches long, 35 inches at the head, and 27 inches wide at the feet. My old version is quite a bit bigger, 21.4 square feet of floor space with just one vestibule, and it's 90 inches long, but 44 inches at the head and 33 inches at the feet. The peak height on the new one is 4.5 inches taller, and I'm about 6 foot, and I've never had any issues with the old version at 37.5 inches, but that's just me. There are two major design differences between the old Gen 3 and the new Gen 4 models. The new style has this hubbed frame structure so they can make the walls more vertical, give you a little more height, and it also makes the tent a true freestanding tent, which was my biggest complaint all along about the old model. If my old model was a true freestanding tent, it'd be 5 stars. I think it'd be just perfect. Now you're going to notice on the older style, the wall area closer to the foot area is not as vertical as on the new model, but to be quite honest, I never had a problem at all using this tent at all, and I really never noticed it being narrow. But let's take a look at that real quick. Now here at the rear, you can see the rear hub system of the frame, and you can see just how vertical the walls are on this tent versus the old model over here. You can see they go in quite a bit more. Like I said, it never was a concern to me, maybe just because the tent was wider overall, but that was one of the reasons they did this new redesign of the frame, so they can make it true freestanding here at the back, because the other one must be staked out. And you can also get more livable space by getting the walls much more vertical. As with most tents being manufactured today, everything is color coded. All your straps, as you can see here, orange straps go on the orange poles, blue snaps connect on the blue poles, red straps go to the red poles, red buckles go to the red buckles. These things are just a snap to put together. And I can tell you that even without any experience, if you've spent 2 minutes watching any video on YouTube about how to pitch a freestanding tent, you can do this in 5 minutes with no experience and no instructions. I mean, really, it kind of only goes together one way. Now you got to remember, these lightweight backpacking tents are not the old canvas Boy Scout pup tents. You can't beat them like a rented mule. You got to take care of them, baby them a little bit. First thing you want to do, get yourself a footprint. This is the one I got from Marvin for his new tent here. Or if you want to do what the Goat Mumbler does, I build some out of Tyvek, or you could build them out of plastic, or whatever you want. The main thing is get something down there underneath the bottom of your tent between the ground. Take care of that thing, and it'll take care of you for a long time to come. I want to do a quick walk around before we get the Rainflies on these. I want you to get a perspective of the differences. Notice the width and how vertical these sides are on the new model, and the much wider width on this one, and how the walls work on this. You can tell the frame system is a complete different animal than this weird thing. Yeah, it looks goofy, but it sure works. And once the Rainfly is on it, it pitches out really nice. Here's the biggest knock on this tent is it must be staked at the footbed, or otherwise it just won't pitch correctly. But here's what the walls look like on it, and you can see the width up there at the head versus this one over here. You can see the new frame system and how it gets real narrow. The walls are real vertical, but it gets real narrow up there. But I wanted you to take a look at both of these tents side by side and just kind of see from whence we came, if you will. Okay, let's get a look at these two tents here with the Rainfly on. You can see you got a real good sized vestibule on the new model here. You will need this additional stake here to stake out this side of the door. Get your eyebrow vent there. And what is really nice about this tent is on the back side is this vestibule. I'll see if I can get inside to give you an idea how big that is, but it's pretty darn big. So if you need to store some stuff there that you really don't need to get a hold of, you know, at the ready, then that's a good place to put it. So with the Rainfly on, looks pretty good. And here is our older model, 2015 model, and it stakes out really nice too. Both of these just great tents Got a little bit of area on the back side here, but not as much as you do on the new model. And of course we got our eyebrow vent there at the top. So that's what they look like with the Rainfly on. Okay, we got the doors rolled back on these, give you a chance to look inside with the Rainfly. Got a nice sized vestibule here. And that's what you're looking at back there on the back side. That's probably about 16 inches across back there at the widest point. And over here on the Generation 3 model, also have nice sized vestibule, and same thing over there on the back side. Got quite a bit of storage if you need to put something back there. So now that we've pretty much gone over these from top to bottom, talked about the new redesigns from the old to the new, let's talk about some of the pros and the cons of the new Generation 4 model. Now let's talk about some of the things I like about this tent. The new hub frame system makes this a true freestanding tent, so you no longer have to worry about staking out the foot box like the older version. It also allows the tent walls to be more vertical, giving you more usable living area. Now the additional 4 inches of peak height in the interior, 4.5 inches, that's appreciated, but to tell you the truth, it'll probably only be noticed by those that are taller than, say, 6'2". The vestibule is darn sure, you know, a good size, and the one in the back is bigger than the one on my old model, so I think you'll like that as well. You're also going to get an upgrade on tent stakes and guy lines. Instead of the crappy old shepherd's hooks here you got with the old version and some junky nylon guy lines, you're also going to get these aluminum L-shaped stakes with some reflective guy line attached to them. Make it easy to pull them out. I think you get 1 extra stake. They're going to give you 3 guy lines already made up, and like I said, these are reflective material, so that's quite a nice upgrade. Moving over here to the interior of our new version tent, you've got some pockets here on the interior. They're by your head. Got that one there. You've got one on both sides up here at the top. You've also have your zipper access so you can get to your Rainfly vent, open up the vent. You've got some hooks here, one here, one there, and we've got 2 down that way as well, so you can hang lanterns or, well, dirty socks, whatever you want to use. But you're going to have plenty of room to put your eyeglasses, iPod, telephone, or charger, whatever you need right here inside. Now let's talk about the cons. What do I not like about this tent? Now, although most people will not have a problem with the 88-inch length of the floor versus the 90 on the older model, you may have a concern about the width, the 35 inches across at the shoulders and 27 there at the foot box. Does make for a more confined space, but you know, I spent a little bit of time in it and I didn't seem to have much of a problem. It'd be fine for me, but probably not for me and the dog, so therefore I'll be sticking with the old Gen 3 model. If there was one thing I would change on the new model, it would be to sacrifice some of the peak height, you know, 4.5 inches, for maybe some more room down here. I just don't think you can go wrong anytime you add floor space. And you know, there is quite a bit of difference between the old model and the new model as far as total floor space is. And I think they could have still done that and come in under 3 pounds, no problem. Although I hadn't heard about any complaints about the buckles on the Rainfly, they just seem kind of cheesy. I don't mind them being small, but I just don't like the way they go together. I'm not sure how durable those are going to be. I much prefer this type of buckle, obviously a smaller version, but this one is completely shrouded like that versus the one that they put on there. But it could be okay. You know, looking at solo backpacking tents is a ton of fun, and there's a lot of them out there to choose from, but figure out what your requirements are in terms of size and weight, your budget, and how comfortable you're going to be once inside with your gear, or in my case, with the old dog as well. There's going to be some compromises, so just figure out which one fits most of your wish list and try that one out. And whichever tent you buy, if possible, see if the outfitter has one you can set up and get in and check it out, and that's really the best way to do it. Also check out what the return policy is if it just doesn't work out for you. But in my case, when I wanted a solo tent for less than $300 and some decent livability, a small pack size, under 3 pounds, built with quality materials, easy to pitch, and a manufacturer that'll stand behind its product, in my opinion, I still just don't think you can beat the Quarterdome 1 from REI. It's still the champion in this class as far as I'm concerned. And let's not forget, you can get this little puppy for less than $200, so I don't know what else I can say about it. Most of the other tents that you're going to find in this category are going to be well over $300. So there you have it, my friends. Let me know what you think, or give me your thoughts on your favorite one-man backpacking tent. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. So until next time, you guys be safe, and we'll see you out on the trail. Adios.